01. Go Motivate Yourself. Author Frank Ramos. Stop Chasing Gurus and Do the Hard Work. By Frank Ramos. Seeking motivation from others. This video we cover these topics. So much self-help. 01. Rags to Riches. 02. Overcoming Failure. 03. So much self-help. When I was younger, I spent a lot of time in the self-help aisle in bookstores. There were a lot more bookstore chains then, including Walden Books, B. Dalton and Borders, and a lot more Barnes and Noble locations. I read books about communication, fitness, personal finance and motivation. With each book I thought, aha, this is going to help me figure out what I want out of life and how to get it. I read the classics, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Power of Positive Thinking and What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. They all had something to offer and I applied their principles to my daily routine. I often found, though, that the results were fleeting or non-existent, which drove me back to the bookstore in search of the next best thing. Now for those of you who have read these books or others like them and found them to have changed your lives, I couldn't be happier for you. They simply did not have that effect on me. I was trying to apply someone else's paradigm to my life and despite best efforts, I wasn't seeing any results. Perhaps I was reading the wrong books or asking the wrong questions, but these books didn't help me figure out what I wanted from life and how to get it. Most of us have a desire to do great things with our lives, big, meaningful, amazing things. But we have a hard time getting from here to there. These books were not getting me from here to there, but that didn't stop me from reading more and more of them. I was sure I was about to stumble onto something big. Just one more book. Just one more. That book never came. Rags to Riches. The Horatio Alger story, Rags to Riches. The story transforms the American dream into dollars and cents. Work hard, think big and financial success is around the corner. So many get-rich-quick schemes. Real estate, inventions, sales, investments. So many opportunities to make money fast, without much thought given to how you're making the money or to what end you're making it. There are so many stories turned into books and seminars and study guides about folks who had nothing but who had a dream and gumption and some luck and made it big. And if you buy their book or attend their conference, you too can make it big. There's no question that some of these stories are inspirational. They started with nothing, sometimes less than nothing, and they dug deep in themselves and pulled off what seems to be a miracle. They struck it rich. I can strike it rich too. They overcame obstacles, much bigger ones than I'm facing. I can overcome them too. They're no superheroes. They're not otherworldly. They're no better than me. They did it. I can too. But how? How do you translate their success into your success? How does their motivation become your motivation? How do their ideas become your ideas? And then there was the question of why they did. What made them get out of bed every morning to do it? I read a lot of their stories, and was moved by them, but I couldn't make their stories mine. Overcoming Failure. Motivational speakers love to say we should embrace failure. Edison didn't invent the light bulb on the first try. Abraham Lincoln had his share of disappointments before being elected president. And how are we supposed to learn and grow and tackle big ideas without failure? Big ideas require big risks and they're called risks because they, at times, have bad outcomes. Don't avoid failure, they would say. Shake its hand, sit down with it, get to know it and learn from it. Of course, not fearing failure, believing in yourself and your talents and taking calculated risks, is healthy and necessary in life. Success is generally preceded by failure in some form or manner. Some think the most important thing one can do is to embrace, not fear, failure. By doing so, one changes one's paradigm from risk-adverse to risk-taking. As Shakespeare wrote in Hamlet, there is nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. There are books simply dedicated to accepting and overcoming failure, because these authors believe so strongly and so deeply that by not doing so, achieving one's dreams is virtually impossible. There is no doubt that not succumbing to failure is integral to success. But simply knowing others had done so didn't translate into meaning I could do so. And sometimes,